This has got to stop. I heard a conversation recently between a couple of guys talking about dating, talking about women, complaining about red flags in women. Yet, in that same conversation, one of them was talking about going on multiple first dates per week because it's good to have eggs in the basket so that if one drops off, you've got another one on the go. The other one was complaining that on a first date, it's not always interesting because it doesn't guarantee that you'll sleep with the woman. What kind of childish behavior is this? This is the problem. So many men complain and put the blame outside of themselves without looking internally, looking in the mirror to see perhaps I am the problem. Perhaps it's not everything out there and all women are the problem and all women are like this. Perhaps it's the way that I'm living my life that is out of integrity with what I say that I want. A lot of these men will really want to meet a great quality woman, a woman they can build a life and a family with, to be by their side, to be loyal and committed. And they might think, oh, because that doesn't exist anymore, it's just what women are like these days. Not realizing that they're not living their life in integrity to match that. If the thing that you say that you want is not in alignment with how you're living your life currently, it makes sense. Because why would a great woman want to be with someone who is living his life in this way? Being at the lustful mercy to his urges, seeing women in relationships as just something to constantly use and discard, as opposed to something to go very deep with, to treat with intention and thoughtfulness and love. And this is why I needed to make this video, because there's no point in always putting the blame outside of ourselves when perhaps the real work is to look at within. And what's so dangerous about these kinds of conversations, oh, women, or oh, this girl is such a red flag, like those kinds of conversations, it normalizes it. It normalizes seeing the opposite sex in this way. It normalizes seeing the entire dating realm as this. And that becomes your normal. It becomes your reality. It becomes what you see and look for and reinforces your belief about relationships and about women. And a big part of this is a man becoming closed off and guarded because at one point in time, he was open and he got heartbroken. He got hurt. Something happened. So he put on the guard and he started to see women as something that would just hurt him if he opened up. So a lot of this comes from trauma, from not addressing the wound that is in you and becoming completely blind to it and how it's now rippling over into the rest of your life. People fear an open heart, not seeing that an open heart is actually the most safe and whole place to come from because love is your nature. Now, until the work is done to drop those guards, to drop those barriers, to see that just because something happened to you, that does not mean you can't open up again, you can't be loving again, you can't be open with a woman again. You have to always be watching out for how they might hurt you. I'm not saying that people don't lie, people don't cheat, people don't take advantage and use you. It happens on both sides. What I'm trying to point to is that it is our own state of consciousness, our own openness and our own love, our own perception of relationships and women and the opposite sex that informs the kind of relationships we create and we invite into our life. With most of these conversations that happen in these groups, it puts women on the other side, not seeing them as a teammate, but seeing them as someone we're at war with. And it happens on both sides, right? It does. But this is why it creates so many problems, because you can be at war with the opposite sex, not realizing that we're fighting for the same team. And we're actually far more alike than we might think. Going through the same stuff, just in different ways, but being put against each other. So all I'm trying to invite here is, if you do want to have a great quality woman by your side, why not start living your life in a way that aligns with it? To start treating yourself, to start treating others, and to start entering any of your interactions from a place of, I'm going to be the kind of partner, the kind of man, the kind of person to invite that kind of relationship into my life. If you have an idea of what you want, the kind of woman you want to be with, the kind of relationship that you want to have, but you want the kind of partner or the man to match that, it might be hard to come by. It might be hard to come by. And this is the point, that this is where the real growth is. To stop tolerating and putting up with and normalizing all of the BS that's been fed into you by other men, other conversations, society, past hurts, whatever, and to just start really looking in the mirror and thinking, who do I need to be? How do I need to live? What do I need to stop putting up with? That is going to help me to be more in alignment with the kind of relationship that I really want. And hey, if it's not even a relationship that you want and you are just trying to live casually, fine, do that. But don't complain about not finding a good woman, because you're not living your life in a way that matches it. So I'm just making this video as a way to see that it starts with looking in the mirror. It starts with not normalizing and tolerating all the same BS in these conversations. And it starts with beginning to just open your heart again and to see that those relationships are available. You're just not being the person to match it.